Before we can get our upstands clad onto the step, we need to mix up our ProFlex SP Rapid set. Now, following the instruction on the bag, it's 4.25 litres of water to a full bag, so I'm going to get this mixed up and get the step clad. So it's time to get the cladding onto the step. Now we're going to be using the buttering method. You can see there that I've put a tile in there. That's just to lift the level of this cladding up so that when we come to fit our other tile, it's going to sit nice and flush underneath that to prevent any water travelling down the back and under the tile. So let's get it buttered up. So this is a rapid setting product which makes it perfect for this job because it means that I can get this upstand clad and get the top on today. So what I'm doing once I've installed the clad is just leveling it up so it's plumb. I'm also going to put my level on top and create a fall from back to front because you don't want a puddle on your step because no one likes wet feet when you come out of the door. So we'll get the clad round the front and then we can get the top set on. Right, so now I've clad all my upstands and I've checked all my axes, making sure that the upstands are plumb and they're all square all the way around. I can now go and cut the tops for the tiles and get the tiles installed. Right, so it's time to start bullnosing and cutting my tile ready for the top. So I'm going to kick things off by using something round to create my circular corner so that I've got a clean mark to cut off the corner and start bullnosing. What I'm going to do is just set that into the corner and mark it. I'm then going to use my grinder blade to take that corner off and start bullnosing and rounding off the corner. Right, so now it's time to put a lovely bullnose on the edge of our step, and we're going to be using the Ruby Pro Edger for that. It's got a 10mm grinding bit on, so I'm going to get my PPE on, set it up and start bullnosing the face, flip the tile over and then bullnose the underside. And then I'm going to finish it off with my Ruby sanding pads. Oh, beautiful. Look at that, lovely Ruby Pro Edger. Done a lovely job, as you can see. So now I've done that and I've took both edges off the tile, I'm going to work my way through my selection of polishing pads, starting with a 50 grit, just to polish off that edge and finish off that nice rounded corner that we're wanting to get. Let's get cracking. Oh, look at that, like a dolphin's beak. Beautiful. So now we've got the bullnose done and it polished. What we're going to do is we're going to flip the tile over and we're going to cut into it a drip strip. What the drip strip does is when the water lands on the tile, it's going to flow off round, and then that drip strip is going to prevent it from travelling towards the cladding and damaging anything underneath, and it'll drop off at the drip strip. Right, so because our tile has got a 30mm overhang, we're going to cut the drip strip into the underside of the tile 15mm from the edge. A tip that I'm going to give you is using an old off-cut piece of tile, I'm going to use the machine edge to create a nice straight line against my grinder. So, now that you're at the side of the tile, you can see that I've angled the blade ever so slightly into the tile. So what's going to happen is when the water runs down this way, it's going to hit this groove, and rather than travelling under, it's going to drop from that strip. Right, so it's now time to get our step caps on. Now, can I just say, this stuff has been setting for around about 2 hours and it's absolutely rock solid. It really is rapid stuff. ProFlex SP, brilliant. So I'm going to get my mortar onto the step, I'm going to prime the underside of my tiles, and then we're good to go. Yep. So before I put my step caps on, I'm just going to run some Rapid ProFlex on the top of this tile. That's just going to bind the underside of the tile onto that to prevent any water getting in through there. Placing your tile in gently, you want to ensure that you've got your 10mm spacers in the back, again for expansion. Making sure that your joint mark matches up with your upstand joint. and then falling away from the house, like so. Perfect. So there we go. Now that concludes today 2. All the difficult parts done, the setting out done, and we're square where we need to be square. It's very important that you get that stage correct, and everything else seems to go in just fine. So I'm going to get cracked on and get everything finished, and we'll catch up with you at grouting stage to talk you through them points.